Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm an engineer here with Nfina Technologies, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how easy it is to recover from a ransomware attack using our EdgeView software. What I have showing here is the EdgeView dashboard itself. Over here in the left sidebar, I have Cloud Cluster 1, where I have two storage appliances running our Edge Store software. These two storage appliances are forming a storage cluster, which is serving storage to these two VMware hosts here. In particular, they are serving this Windows Server data store over iSCSI. I have 4 virtual machines installed on the data store that is coming from those storage appliances, and I'm connected up to the console of one of those virtual machines here. Back at the EdgeView dashboard, here under the storage tab on this particular storage node, I have Intel 3710 pool selected. This is one of our storage pools on the cluster. This is a 12 disk pool. It's made out of 6 two-way mirror VDEVs. It's roughly 4.3 terabytes with about 500 gigs actually being used here. The volume in question here that we're interested in is this Windows Server backup volume. This is actually the volume those 4 virtual machines reside on. It's a terabyte in size. It has 128K block size, and it's roughly taking up 310 gigabytes on the storage pool. We can also see from this view that this particular volume has a backup plan configured for it. If we hover over the information icon next to the volume, we can see that there are snapshots being taken every 5 minutes, and we're holding those snapshots for 30 minutes. And there's also hourly snapshots being taken that are being kept for a day. Replicating those same snapshots to an offsite destination, as well as displaying the latest snapshot that is present in each of those systems. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and come back here over to our VMware environment. And what I have actually done here is downloaded some ransomware onto this particular virtual machine. And I'm going to go ahead and run this ransomware. We'll just go ahead and click run. And that's going to kick off the encryption process of all of our files here on the disk. So what I have here, I'll just show you before it actually encrypts here. I'll show you this PowerShell script because we won't actually be able to open it anymore once we get it. But as you can see, this has some commands here, some PowerShell commands related to some performance testing we were doing before. And it'll take just a few minutes. So I'm going to pause the video while the encryption process finishes. All right, so the ransomware is finally finished encrypting all the files. I'm going to take a look at the same PowerShell script I was looking at before. You can see that the extension has changed to this WannaCry extension. It's no longer recognized by PowerShell. If I try to open it up with Notepad, you can see that it has been encrypted and we can no longer read the content. Here's the message asking us to pay $300 worth of Bitcoin to this particular address, and payment will be raised on this date, and our files will be lost on this date. So it's at this point in time that we're actually going to utilize the EdgeView software to recover from this ransomware attack. So back over here under our EdgeView dashboard, we can now come to the snapshots tab for this particular pool. And we can do action here on the volume and choose our action of rollback. We can choose to either get snapshots older than a certain date. I'm just going to choose the last 10 snapshots here. That's going to create a list of snapshots. And we have the ability to roll all the way back to 205 if necessary. Right now it's 346. Just to be safe, I'm going to roll back to 3:30. It's about 15 minutes ago. And we'll just go ahead at this point in time and choose rollback. Keep in mind, this is a rollback of the entire volume, which means that all virtual machines on the given volume will be rolled back to this point in time. So right now, that's about 10 minutes ago, according to the system time here. And we're going to agree to that. Choose rollback. and that's going to kick off the rollback process. So the rollback process here is going to go ahead and power off these virtual machines that are already running on the volume before the rollback is actually performed from the storage array side. So once we see the rollback actually occur, we will see that the volume becomes inaccessible. So during the rollback, the VMware hosts themselves will not actually be able to access this volume. And there it goes there. So we've actually already seen that the rollback process has been initiated on the storage array side. And in just a few seconds, we should see a rescan of the host bus adapters on the VMware side here from each of the ESXi hosts. We can see that the rescan of those host bus adapters has been completed. Now it's just going to wait for the actual data store to mount. So now that the data store has been remounted within vCenter after the rollback action was initiated, we should be now ready to go ahead and power these virtual machines back on, at which point in time we'll go ahead and check that the failover test virtual machine has been restored to its original state. So we've issued the command to power on all the virtual machines on the data store. So we should at this point in time be able to go ahead and reconnect here. And we'll go ahead and log in. And as we can see, there's no more ransomware on the desktop. We can see we're restored to the time where we actually had the ransomware in a zip file before we actually executed it. And we can see our PowerShell script here from the C drive that we demoed whenever we encrypted the files.